All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. So you see, you may actually find that you can insure with healthcare and provide food subsidy at a greater rate once you trim all the BS. So you have to go for the BS first before you go for your political BS. Right. There's no reason to defy Jesus when there's all this fraud, waste, and abuse. Again, I brought up the system for Medicare before. I said, why are people acting guilty? Y'all driving around these people or looking guilty, I guess. So, again, part of what they do is fog the mind, and then you can't get to whatever it is you're trying to get to. And part of that was my bone spurs on my feet, treatment for that. But when I got into the massage system, my brain started opening. It was a very difficult process. So they slept me. Right? So I am awakening, and it probably is happening for that woman. Now the question is it the Trump people or is it something else? Right. Well, because the ne'er do wells that keep us asleep are the deep state, so they might be losing power. Now the question is, does Trump really intend to go after the deep state or not, right? Or will he accept payment to go and then allow them to do their stuff? Right. So I brought this up before. I don't know where it went or didn't go, but for Medicare benefits, it should be you should have at least the option. I think it should be mandatory. Something you have to give a PIN number, a code word. Right now, one of the problems is if I imagine sometimes those things are compromised in places that could obtain that. But then again, then that gives you more evidence. Well, who had access to the PIN number? Well, if you're sitting if you're sitting at a counter in a doctor's office and they ask you for the PIN number, you're going to give it up. So again, I don't know how they would get the number. Generally, you just give them the card. They actually just changed my card number. There's a code in there, like a DIS. I guess I should tell Blue Cross Blue Shield to change mine too. There's a DIS in there. Put the trigger numbers and stuff in there, and F letters and. So again, one of the reasons I didn't go for surgery is I couldn't get the bone spur thing fixed. Other reasons too. I felt like maybe I could get around it because I knew that the bone spurs were, and I couldn't get to my bone spur treatment either. I mean, it was just insane from what they're doing. No, it isn't my insanity; it's your torture, all of you, and you know you're doing it. Wait, Larry. So I don't know. That may, once I get all this treatment done, that's maybe where it would take me. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Larry. It's a pretty hefty surgery. If they screw up, it's pretty bad. Right. And it's very rare that they screw up. Now, I don't know if the guy that appeared before me in Amarillo was real or a setup because they were heavily psychologically operating, and I saw that. Well, he supposedly couldn't walk because he went for that same surgery that they had recommended for me. Right. It was kind of too weird. Right. Correct. Could have been an operator. Right. Again, a crook. Crooks will do anything like that for a contract. Right. Now, a doctor did know about him, which also influenced that dude. Also influenced the other doctor, the rehabilitation doctor. Apparently, probably if I could have thought through it in Amarillo and got, well, actually, I couldn't do it in Amarillo because I hadn't got the diagnosis. I went back to Tyler. They gave me the diagnosis on the bone spurs on the feet, and I did get better than I was, but I didn't, it didn't get as far as it could have if I would have probably got massages on my feet and my legs. I just couldn't get back to massage no matter what I tried. So how they do that is it's satanic because they'll make the false statements and get the massage therapist to make false statements. And then that'll metaphysically block you, along with what, corrupt FBI, corrupt local police, state police, that kind of thing are already doing. Right. So I've got the final, I think, mounting plan from Hashem, because it's not coming from my mind, believe me. 'Cause I'm not really thinking through it, and all of a sudden Hashem shows a picture. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to use 2x4s. My original plan was not to screw it directly in, but to bolt it in and make the hole on the piece that I'm holding wider than the bolt, so I can adjust it, like an eighth of an inch this way, an eighth, so the panels will line up. That's what they do on some of these big fireplaces. The way they do it, those prefab fireplaces. So Hashem showed me that's what I want to do on this. And then I'll be able to line the panels up no matter what. Because you're a little bit off on a screw, and that was my plan anyway. Hashem just took it to the next level. And well, I said if I misalign it with the screws, then I'll go to the right. The spiritual somebody looked like they had Down syndrome. They don't. He looks like he works at Home Depot, but it reminded me of Corky, a famous Down syndrome kid. And what I'm doing is reminding me of all my work over the years. I don't want everybody to forget it, but all my metaphysical work and healing has changed the world for the Down syndrome people, because I healed them and healed their situation for so many years. They have new strategy. They raise them a certain way, they medicate them a certain way, and it worked better for not all, but a lot larger number of kids with with Down syndrome. All